Hello, I'm going to present today on um, two Catholic CRM platforms. I think when most people think of CRM, they think of customer relationship management. And for me, the first one that comes to mind is Salesforce. Um, which is like just ubiquitous. But I think most people don't realize that churches actually have their own software for this. They're typically referred to as CHMS, which is a church management software. And we talk about the people that we're trying to keep track of, not as customers, but as constituents. But these platforms perform a lot of the same functions. And so we're going to compare two of the biggest. One is called ParishSoft, and the other is called eCatholic. So, first of all, in terms of specifying what makes CRMs different when we're talking about Catholic churches or dioceses, again, we're talking about managing constituents, which is parishioners. We need to keep track of the families, uh, their donations, their donor history. We need to keep track of where they're volunteering. Usually there's some sort of certification process for volunteers. We have to keep track of that. Various ministries, their membership, the things that they're doing. And sacramental records is a really big one. The Catholic Church takes that very seriously, and so keeping those records up to date is a key goal for all Catholic parishes. So, why would a parish or a diocese use a CHMS or it's a CRM for churches? So, first thing that's on there, we have to keep up with the sacramental records. It's very important. It's something the church has taken very seriously since the Middle Ages. We need to keep track of our donors. And in terms of stewardship tracking, when we're ready to do like year-end reports for tax purposes, we have to have solid records for all of that. We also typically have to do financial reconciliations with the diocese as well. Of course, we need to communicate with our constituents. It's gone are the days of just using the parish bulletin to communicate with people. People expect communication across multiple channels. And we have religious education classes that have to be tracked. We need registration, and we have to report completion typically to the diocese. And then the online giving integration goes back to stewardship, but typically if we can get online giving handled in one integrated within our CHMS system, that just makes things tidy, and then of course that information can be easily transmitted to the diocese. And then the last one, which you can't see because of my face, it says support work for evangelization and parish engagement. So we need to know things like who lives in our zip code, who has come to church but is not now coming to church. Those are the types of people that we may want to reach out to with targeted evangelization efforts. So we're going to look at these two side by side. We have the three types of CRMs here, the operational, analytical, and collaborative. So eCatholic is a combination of collaborative and operational. We can integrate the website, we can integrate online giving, we can integrate some digital engagement, and there's a strong focus on communications and relationships. So like direct messaging, direct emailing, emailing subgroups, all of that is really smoothly integrated through eCatholic. ParishSoft, on the other hand, is primarily operational. It supports the same type of record keeping that eCatholic supports, but the tools for reporting and financial analytics are much stronger in ParishSoft. So to get down to the nitty gritty, ParishSoft manages a lot of these things that we need, but I put little asterisks next to the the areas where ParishSoft is particularly strong. So that's the accounting and diocesan finance side. A lot of people don't realize that all Catholic parishes are required to do year-end financial reports, reconciliations, and submit all of that to the diocese. And the diocese actually does one large reconciliation of every entity. So a lot of times a diocese will mandate something like ParishSoft so they have integration across all their parishes, and it just makes year-end reporting a lot smoother. Also, when it comes to compliance, we do have financial compliance because, of course, all Catholic entities are 501c3s, so we have to keep our tax-exempt status and stay in compliance with those regulations. But we also have a lot of safe environment compliance that's really important. And when we get through member and family database, we can also track safe environment compliance through ParishSoft. So then we look at eCatholic. How are they different? They have a lot of the same tools. Again, I put asterisks next to the parts that make it different. eCatholic actually has what they call an engagement ecosystem. They have extremely robust communication tools to do just about anything that you want to do. The website, eCatholic is one that I've actually used personally. The website is so easy to work with. Anybody who can click around can modify the website. So in terms of keeping messaging, websites, filling out web forms, managing registrations that way, anybody can use eCatholic. The tools are robust and easy for anyone to use. So, who's using them? So I've got some statistics here. Both CRMs are widely used. ParishSoft is used across 185 dioceses and more than 12,000 parishes. The Archdiocese of Galveston Houston is one of their big users. eCatholic serves over 7,000 parishes, dioceses, schools, and ministries worldwide. I definitely felt in my research that eCatholic had more of a worldwide presence. So the parish that I work in uses eCatholic. Unfortunately, we don't use all of the integrations because our diocese does require a different tool to manage certain databases and finances. Because again, eCatholic is not as robust on the finance side, but what it lacks in the financial side, it really makes up for in terms of the communication, the evangelization, and the engagement side. So I really like eCatholic better. I haven't used the other, but in general, I know it's important to keep up with finances, and I know that we have to reconcile all the finances, but ultimately I feel the main thrust of a church should be ministry, evangelization, reaching people, and connecting to people. And since eCatholic is stronger in that area, I think it's a better tool. I will say that, my parish and other parishes use eCatholic in conjunction with a tool that's more robust on the finance side. So eCatholic is a great tool. I mean, especially on the website, you can't get a less expensive and more flexible option for having a customized website. And so I just thank you. I hope that you learned something. I think a lot of people maybe don't realize that the technologies that exist in the customer service world are also present in the church world, that it's one of the ways, I think it's important that the church does this in many ways, to take the best practices from the business world and implement them so that we can serve people better through the church.